Es Sparta!
Fatality.
This film contains adult language. There are 17 swear words carefully placed throughout. Kids, can you find them?
Lord have mercy. Just now, Bugs had the worst fart possible, and I can still smell it. It was about 30 seconds ago. It is still in my nose. Any idea that I had of sticking them in the oven and just pouring steak sauce on them, it's gone. Completely cleared my mind altogether. This is UFO Buster Radio. I am Manny Moonraker, and I am, of course, speaking about the Boston Terrier that likes to hunt UFOs, which we know here as Bugs the UFO Hunter. He has a serious gas problem. Food has been changed. Dietary needs have been addressed, but it's natural. I guess really it's natural for Boston Terriers to kick out this odor. Jeez Louise, he farts louder than most humans. I just want to say that. And that's a true story. I can actually, I want to say there was one episode where he cut the cheese, and you could actually hear it on the episode. That's how he rolls. And unfortunately, he's got the wrong end of his business aimed at me right now. It's not pretty, and what's coming out of it is horrific. This is the episode we talk about space news on UFO Buster Radio, because why not? Why not? Now, yesterday we had an article about the state with the most UFO sightings in the last 6 months. It was brought to you by a website, satelliteinternet.com. And the funny thing is that after the show, went into Discord and the guys were on there talking about it. And I decided to plug in the website. It is a website for a company that is, for lack of a better word, selling internet services from satellite. You know, beam me up or down, Scotty. They sent me an email this morning thanking me for talking about their report on these UFO sightings. And then they politely asked, hey, could you add to that episode a link to our actual report? Because this came from an article, and the actual link to the report is in the article, but they were like, can you put it in the description? But I said, wait a minute, why don't we do this? I can do it. Absolutely. But first, you guys got to let me know, why would a company that sells internet service from satellites be interested in reporting on UFOs? I would think that these guys would be reporting on Starlink or any of those other satellite companies that are trying to, control the interwebs from space. So I just find it fascinating that they did that, to be honest. And I'm still waiting for a response, so we'll see what happens. By the way, just recently, I think today, they scrubbed another attempt to launch the next batch of Starlink satellites. And these were the ones. These were the first batch to include the fancy visor to keep the sun from reflecting down to the planet and freaking people the fuck out. And it's supposed to help scientists, astronomers, to keep the brightness down for the Starlink satellites. We'll see what happens. It got scrubbed. They're looking for the next launch window opportunity. And then we'll see. Does this actually work? Does the fancy visor, is it really going to make a difference for people? Because already astronomers are saying, even if you do that, Elon, even if you block the sun, like in the 300, even if you block the sun from reflecting off of that damn device you have up there, the device is still solid. So eventually, we're going to get to the point where there's going to be too many damn Starlink satellites for us to even look past them when we're trying to observe the sky. That's the story. We'll see what happens if they get these things up. It'll be fascinating to see. The one thing is, I can say for sure, there really haven't been too many UFO sightings related to the Starlink satellites in the news. So I guess people have finally decided they either gotten used to it, they can't do anything about it, or they give no fucks. It's one of those, I'm sure. But we'll find out eventually. 3 space stories for today. There is one that's fascinating. It's got a lot of draconian math in it. You know, that's scientific math. But we'll cover that. That'll be the last one. I'm actually talking on here and I can't hear myself, so hopefully it's not all gibberish. But we're going to kick off Space Day with a little hip-hop because we haven't done this in a while. So check this out.
Man, I went from a bag to a bag to a bag. I remember me and mama used to ride the cab. Pull up out the lot, no more lease, we paying cash. Show up to a crib, hand the keys to a Jag. That's that light work, flexing so much it hurt. Used to rock hand-me-downs, now Versace down my shirt. I remember them days we couldn't wait for the first. Finally made me a meal, now we eating off the verse. Yeah, but I remember being hungry. Sardines, ramen noodles, and macaroni. Had that wick cheese sandwich with fried bologna. Don't want no pity, this part of my testimony. Yeah, I probably could've hit a lick with all my homies. Instead I played it cool and sat at home all by my lonely. You can go be stupid, I'll be fine with being phony. Cause I seen how that worked out for Seth, Byron, and Joey. Now my brother's serving life in a day. Putting money on his books, gotta pray. Both families still grieving for a loss. Man, this is not a game you wanna play. Cause I went from a bag to a bag to a bag. I remember me and mama used to ride the cab. Pull up out the lot, no more lease, we paying cash. Show up to a crib, hand the keys to a Jag. That's that light work, flexing so much it hurt. Used to rock hand-me-downs, now Versace down my shirt. I remember them days we couldn't wait for the first. Finally made me a meal, now we eating off the verse. Yeah, tell me what's worse, being hungry or stealing that woman purse. Both of my parents, they suffered a family curse. Now as a father, that got me on high alert. That's how it works, that's how it works. By 21, I should be 6 feet in the dirt, or in a cell, or in a hearse. I'm thanking God that with me it got reversed. To fitting in, I'm too adverse. The game dying, so I treat it like a nurse. It's hard work, I put God first. Not speaking truth is the way I reimburse. Cause I went from a bag to a bag to a bag. I remember me and mama used to ride the cab. Pull up out the lot, no more lease, we paying cash. Show up to a crib, hand the keys to a Jag. That's that light work, flexing so much it hurt. Used to rock hand-me-downs, now Versace down my shirt. I remember them days we couldn't wait for the first. Finally made me a meal, now we eating off the verse.
He said, finally eating off the verse. The struggle is real. Could you imagine that? Damn. I don't know. I picked it. No curses in it, so you guys are okay. Your virgin ears are ripe for me now to give you this news report, to be honest. That's why I did it. I know. A bit selfish of me, I'm sure. NASA teases Psyche. What a name. What a name for a NASA robot. Psyche. The robot is to explore an asteroid worth more than our entire global economy. Cha-ching. NASA's not fucking around anymore. They're basically telling Congress to go fuck themselves with all of their laws. All of their, gotta sign this, gotta sign that, take your budget and show it up your ass. That's really not what they're saying, but wouldn't it be cool if they did? Wouldn't it be cool if NASA was like badasses and said, you know, you guys in Congress go kiss our ass. We're going to find us the biggest goddamn piece of gold in the solar system, and we're going to run our own shit. That would be cool. What's going down is that they've got this little robot. I think I'm still feeling the effects of the gassing. They got this little robot called Psyche, and it's going to explore an asteroid that is 140 miles wide. And by the way, for our draconian math today, we'll start off by saying it's 226 kilometers wide. This asteroid is called 16 Psyche, hence the robot's name being Psyche. And today, apparently, it passed a good milestone in this coming together for everyone to eventually see in a few years Psyche taking off. Now, Psyche, the 16 Psyche, which is the asteroid that's the target of this little robot, is located in our solar system around the main asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, and apparently it's metal rich, like seriously rich. They say that it has exposed metal, iron, nickel, and gold, and actually it was once a protoplanet. Yeah, it's time for the word of the day. It's a new thing at UFO Buster Radio. The word of the day from space. Now you've got to use this in a sentence tomorrow. I don't care how the fuck you do it. Just do it. I'll try it. I'll give it a whirl after this. I'll try to get it done. A protoplanet, here's the definition. A large body of matter in orbit around a sun or a star, and thought to be a developing planet or developing into a planet. It turns out that there was an analysis supported the view that the moon originated from a glancing collision between the Earth and another protoplanet about 4,500 million years ago. That's the definition for the word of the week, protoplanet. Now let's just use this. Jimmy had a bong that was 4,500 million years old. And one day, when he was running from the cops, one of their clubs hit the bong and a very fine piece fell off. It was a protoplanet piece. I don't know. It doesn't really work. But you understand what it is now. We're talking about a protoplanet, and that's why they're going after Psyche 16 or 16 Psyche. Let me stop the music. It's driving me crazy. And that's why we're doing it, because it turns out that it is very rich. Now, if you want to figure out why would NASA spend time going to a asteroid that they named Psyche, that's because Psyche and maybe other protoplanets or big-ass, rich-ass asteroids that are found out there is worth an astounding, get ready for this, you won't believe this, 10,000 quadrillion dollars. Yeah, that's a shitload of money. 10,000 quadrillion, not 10,000, not 10,000 million, not 10,000 billion, not 10,000 trillion, 10,000 quadrillion. That would make anyone, especially space cowboys, decide to suit up their robots to send them to do who the fuck knows what. I'm sure we are way, way far from being able to recover a protoplanet. So I'm sure they're looking to just, kind of figure out what's going on. What exactly is this little 16 Psyche made out of? And who knows what else. Now, I'm sure you're excited about it. I know I am. I would love to see a big-ass, gigantic, over 100-mile wide piece of gold in space. I mean, why not? Gold never goes out of style, let me tell you. Psyche is due to launch from Cape Canaveral, Florida, August of 2022. Who the fuck schedules that far ahead? August 2022, and check this out. And this is the fascinating part for those of you, or us, or all of us, some of us, that like hearing about Elon and SpaceX. It is going to launch on top of a Falcon Heavy rocket. This Psyche, is going to fly past Mars about 2023 and begin orbiting the asteroid at about 2026. Fuck, that's like 4 years. Like, you could tell your kids about this. They'll watch it take off just going into high school, and by the time they're about to graduate, bada bing, fruition, success. That could be like a life lesson for them or something like that. I don't know. It's just bananas how long this stuff takes. So there you go. There's more information regarding the type of instruments that they're planning to have on Psyche as it goes to 16 Psyche. But I guarantee this will not be the last time that we are going to be searching out quadrillion-dollar asteroids. And really, I'm surprised that private enterprise has not already taken on that mantle as far as going out and getting that gold from gold or any kind of precious metal. Hell, some of these could even have diamonds, right? From asteroids from 4.2 far. So let's keep an eye out for this. It's going to be fascinating. Check this out. think Bugs heard me talking about him, so he decided to pucker up, because not a single gas leak has happened since I mentioned it. Let me go over to the live chat real quick to say hello to some of the fellas that are hanging out in the live chat right now. We got Gang Vit, we got Green Man, we got Dre, J-Ron, Pucky, and I thought I saw another name in here. But the chat's moving pretty fast. I really can't keep up with it. Otherwise, shoot, I'll just give up the entire show altogether. Won't even be able to do the stuff I got. This article comes to you by Congress again, and the people that love them. SpaceX could send NASA to Jupiter's potentially habitable moon Europa. Now, everybody talked about Europa, how fascinating and how interesting things are going down, and the images that were received by NASA, the possibility of there being life because of H2O. Well, it turns out that Congress recently put some stuff together, pen to paper, and it might leave the door open for SpaceX and really any other space company, any other rocket hopping companies and CEOs to grab some opportunity here to become the private enterprise that can take NASA to Jupiter. That's what's going on. It could be maybe a Falcon Heavy, possibly, or maybe another rocket that by that time gets put together by Elon and the gang. It sure as hell won't be fucking Starship. Nobody knows when that thing's going to take off. NASA is planning the Europa Clipper mission, which is supposed to go out there and basically hang around Europa for a bit. Maybe even dropped a little robot down to see what's really going on. Congress put together a draft of a bill that was released on Tuesday that kind of opens the door for Elon and the gang, and maybe even Jeff Bezos from Blue Origin, which I don't see them getting into this. I'll just be honest. And the idea is whoever gets into this thing, besides maybe SLS, because NASA has its own SLS thing going on, which is the Space Launch System. So it just so happens, if space launch does not work, then one of these entities could freaking get into the game here to get the Clipper all the way down to Europa so we can check out if there's life or not, which I doubt it, because they'll plan the fucking mission and they will not even look for life. I guarantee it. That's just the way it goes with NASA. So basically, whoever wins it, even if it's SLS or one of these other guys, basically the orbiter should be sent over by 2025 and basically land on Europa by 2027. Nothing's happening anytime soon, to be honest. All this shit is happening way a few years from now. So grab your popcorn, sit back and relax and see what the hell happens. I'm really hoping for an upstart to come in and put the pedal to the metal and get this shit going a lot faster, because we can't. This bureaucracy stuff, it's crazy. All this damn red tape and paperwork is bananas. Anyway, NASA, like I said, is working on the SLS system, and there's a quote from this bill that says the National Aeronautics and Space Administration shall use the Space Launch System if available, which is funny because even in this article they noted that Congress has not been doing that. If you remember back in the fall, early spring, NASA was adamant that any launch system that was used by NASA had to be owned by NASA, right? It couldn't be some kind of a corporation. Fascinating how the verbiage here has really changed. It goes on to say that if available, as the 10 launch vehicles for the Jupiter Europa missions. So they basically have more than just one. They're looking at 10 different vehicles to go up to Europa. That finally is some serious planning. I mean, we've seen the images from satellites of Europa. We've seen the icy looking planet and the cracks in the ice that makes it look like there is like really crisp blue water under there, and the rest of the activity. Here, finally, we got some verbiage. They're finally going to put some money to it, including this verbiage. The bill is also going to provide $400 million to build a Europa orbiter as well. So it's not just going to be all boots on the ground. Of course, they got to have an orbiter going around Europa for a while to locate who the fuck knows what. But it is what it is. Now, the other thing is that the same bill is also going to allocate funds for NASA's Artemis mission to return astronauts to the moon. Like, I don't even care about the moon anymore. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, who fucking cares? The moon, that is so fucking passé now. How Bugs decided to get up since I talked about him pucking up his behind. Anyway, so, but unfortunately, the money set aside is much less than what the Trump administration initially suggested. But it looks like the target date of 2024 could be pushed back, which means we're not going to make it on time. There's going to be budget issues. There's going to be planning issues. Really, I think this is also going to happen about 2027, 2028, to be honest. Now, the funny thing is that many people in the space industry are saying that they are pretty much skeptical that putting boots on the moon by 2024 is even possible without Congress. But the whole thing is the space race has to move past Congress. It has to be put in the hands of corporate people who've got the money to spend. Sure, board members, come on, board members are looking for a way to make money. These corporations, they see money in space. Otherwise, we wouldn't see SpaceX or any of the other, like Bezos or any of those guys. Another interesting turn of events today was that NASA apparently gave recommendations for Boeing to fix their Starliner or things that they need to do before they can get back in the game. When you have a rocket that you shoot off with the one job to get into fucking space, and it fails to do that, I would think that NASA would be extremely leery of using Starliner in the future. I would assume it's going to take a long time. But history has seen that Boeing and the government have been really tight because they've built a lot of military hardware. And so chances are they're going to continue to work with Boeing to get that Starliner up to speed. Will it ever meet the craziness of a Crew Dragon capsule? Nobody knows. I mean, I doubt it, to be honest. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. And I'm personally looking forward to that Crew Dragon capsule to get his ass back here with the 2 astronauts. We'll see how that works out. It should be exciting to see. The sad part is that they turned off the engines on it, so it's going to parachute and land in the water, unlike what it was really designed to do, which was as a reentry vehicle to shoot off those rockets and just land on land. But I guess once you blow up a few times, people are a bit scared to get on it. God, Elon, you really fucked that up. One more article to go. This has a lot of numbers in it, and I seem to do this at least twice a month. But a lot of people don't understand that there is life out there somewhere, and the numbers are not just in favor of it, they are in favor of life elsewhere in a huge way. It was funny because I'm looking at the chat, and J-Ron mentioned Walt Disney and Stanley Kubrick as far as the conspiracy that they faked the footage of the moon landings. And you know what? For fuck's sake. It is really hard to argue with stuff like that, right? Though I do believe it happened. But it's hard to, like, maybe Kubrick did do a little bit of, jazz hands and put some stuff together. But when we look at the numbers of how long it's going to take to return to the moon, it kind of makes you wonder what the fuck happened before. Like, did they send these guys up during the Apollo missions, wrapped in tape and some aluminum? Like somebody just wrapped some aluminum from their kitchen, wrapped them up and said, hey, get the fuck up to space. I don't understand. I don't understand why it's taking so long. What the fuck happened in space that everything's so fucking backwards? It's like we literally, go somewhere. Go to NASA, go to one of the museums, get the spaceflight museum, go in there, get the fucking capsule that was used back in the Apollo missions, and let's send that shit up. It'll probably get there much sooner. It makes no sense. The whole thing makes no sense that it will take that long to get back to the moon. I'm serious. Go get one of the old capsules. Stop fucking around. It's just ridiculous. I don't understand how this works, but anyway, it is what it is. That's what we have to deal with. Now the question is, are we alone? Discovery of billions of Earth-like planets may hold the answer. Now we've talked about this a lot because it seems like people still don't get it. Is there life somewhere else? Yes. Stop screwing around. Just be honest with yourself. You cannot be the only rubber dicker in the entire universe. Yes, you cannot be the only perv in the entire universe. That's right. You cannot be the only mailman in the entire universe. It's not possible. There was a study that estimates that there are up to 6 billion Earth-like planets in our own galaxy. We're not talking about the universe. In the Milky Way galaxy, 6 billion planets that fall into the criteria that would make it, at the very least, interesting to look at and used to examine whether or not that particular planet has life. And you know what the criteria is. It's called the Goldilocks Zone. So for many years, scientists really didn't have a way to check out exoplanets, right? It just could not happen. But we have so many tools now. There are so many tools that the probability of life being somewhere else, even in our own solar system, continues to grow with every look-see. Out of those 6 billion planets that we're saying, or science is saying, appear to be in the Goldilocks zone, we've only discovered 4,100 exoplanets that are in the area that you would find the planet Earth. And that is in a good zone between its sun, or the star that it orbits around, to where it's not too hot and it's not too cold, and it is a rocky planet. That's what's happening right now. 6 billion in our own Milky Way. Now, when you look at the math, 6 billion, you've only found 4,100. Fuck, there's a long, long road ahead of you, Tess. You guys who are looking for planets, somebody stop screwing around and give some scholarships up to some kids and get them to start looking, because we're way behind this curve here. We are at the bottom. We need to go up. There's a lot of finding that needs to be done, to be honest. But to come up with a number of 6 billion, it was funny because on Monday I was thinking, why in the hell are scientists looking, to stars that are 23 billion light years away? How damn wide is our own Milky Way? So I said, hey, let me look for the answer. I didn't even know this story was coming up, by the way. But the answer to that was that the Milky Way galaxy is 105,000 light years in width. 105,000 light years, but yet we're looking to planets and identifying planets and solar systems and galaxies that are billions of light years away. How the fuck does that make sense to anybody? It just makes no sense to me. And here's something really fascinating. We have our Milky Way galaxy, which allegedly, supposedly, maybe, scientifically, there are 6 billion planets. When you look at the galaxy, it is estimated that there are 2 trillion galaxies within the universe. 2 trillion galaxies. So if you were to take 6 billion times 2 trillion, that's a big ass fucking number. You literally have that number, which I put it into my Texas Instrument calculator and it gave me an error. That's how big the number is. It's huge. But that is the amount of planets that could potentially hold life. They're in the Goldilocks Zone. They're just chilling there. The weather's great like fucking California all year round. So why wouldn't there be life? Thanks, Bugs. He agrees. Now just keep in mind that this is with the idea that our own Milky Way has about 250 billion stars in it, besides the sun, besides our little puny ass sun. Because if you've seen the videos of the size of our sun compared to other stars in the Milky Way, it is really tiny, really small. But if you're looking for life, especially life that comes to the planet and probes people, takes the cattle, has little surprise visits here and there, they show up on cell phone video, you would think that life would be found within our Milky Way. There is enough territory out there to include another civilization within the Milky Way itself. I don't understand why we keep looking out there. It makes no sense. Stay within the Milky Way. You barely figured out your own damn solar system. Why wouldn't you just look right here in our backyard? It's a staggering number, to say the least. I was just fascinated by it. And I honestly did. I did try to calculate it out, and I got an error. So we'll have to figure it out. Maybe some of the guys in the chat box can figure that out. I don't know. But it is absolutely nuts. There is life out there somewhere. We just can't deny it anymore. It's time to stop the games. Really? The question is it coming here? And there's a significant amount of people that say it is. And I would venture to say it's either an interdimensional visit or it's coming from our own Milky Way. That's my opinion. Don't take it to heart, but research yourself. There's a lot of more information in the article regarding the Milky Way and the estimated amount of planets within our own backyard. So check that out. See how it works out for you. Okay, by the way, the Dark Horror podcast will be on Saturday. Addie will be joining us. Psychic extraordinaire, tarot card reader. She's going to come in. She's going to be taking some names, and you guys are free to call and ask her questions. The Thursday Freakout will not be on Thursday this week. It will be on Friday, 10 p.m. Central Friday. Alien Beer will be coming. We've been waiting for Alien Beer from Discord to get on the podcast, but I was chatting with him this morning, and I believe he's going to be here to talk some stuff. So we'll see. Alien Beer, hopefully you make it in. It'll be fascinating to hear what you have to talk about. And he actually gave me a preview, so hey, it's a freak out episode, so you can say whatever the fuck you want, to be honest. This is the end of the episode. I appreciate you guys for visiting. I appreciate you guys in the live chat. I'm checking out. Check you guys out on Friday, and I'll have more news about the Thursday Freakout going to YouTube. I'll have a date, and we'll see what happens. Ciao.